r/AskReddit asks, what's a little known but obvious fact that will immediately make all of us feel stupid? Percentages are reversible. 8% of 25 is the same as 25% of 8, and one of them is much easier to do in your head. This is the only fact I've read here that made me feel like an idiot. Thanks, actually really useful. It was never mentioned that Humpty Dumpty was an egg. It was a cannon that broke during the war. 40% of all sick days taken by white-collar employees are on a Monday or a Friday. Not because people are trying for 3-day weekends, but because Monday and Friday account for 40% of all weekdays. Accidents and homicide are the two top causes of death for pregnant women in the U.S. because most of the other leading causes of death are long-term chronic illnesses. Cancers and heart disease mostly. A person diagnosed with less than 1 year to live just isn't likely to seek pregnancy. Most shark attacks occur about 10 feet from the beach. Because that's where the people are. World Wide Web contains fewer syllables than its intended short form, www, thus making the shorter version longer to say. Edit, grammar. I just say, www. Pufferfish are filled with water, not air. It wouldn't even make sense, yet a lot of people are like what? True, but pufferfish actually can and do fill themselves with air when on land. Just like humans, British cows moo in regional accents. Shazoo. You can take a quart-sized Ziploc bag through TSA full of the little travel bottles of liquor as you can fit in there. It's completely legal. Now, the airline might not approve of you pouring your own drinks, but it makes layovers and hanging out in the terminal much more easy. Did this on my last flight. Free Coke on the plane, added Jack, sauce by my layover. Cheapest airport cocktail ever. It's a safe deposit box, not a safety deposit box. This guy doesn't Neopets. The Terminator didn't need a heads-up display in his visual system. His system already had access to all of that information anyway, otherwise how could it display it? Redisplaying it in a form that would then have to be visually interpreted would be a complete waste of time. You'll act like you haven't had to debug something before. Well, the machines designed the Terminator, you say? The Terminators were all slow, inefficient, and ineffectual. Not only did the machines neglect to delete redundant debug visual interface, they didn't even bother to disable it before release. Covered bridges are designed with roofs to protect and preserve the wooden structure from the elements. Without the cover, they'd last about 20 years, with the cover they can last up to 100. They're not built that way just to look charming. I heard it's to protect from cover in Fortnite. Your hair and nails do not continue to grow after you die. They need oxygen to grow, which they can't get after your heart stops. Fun fact, they may appear as they are growing as the skin recedes after you die. The and thou were actually the asterisk and formal asterisk forms. The King James Bible used them so that the relationship with God would seem more personal. There's also no such thing as ye, meaning the. It's the, but spelled with an archaic letter that signifies the th sound. As that letter, thorn, disappeared from the English language, people would replace it in writing with a y because it can look like a small thorn, depending on your handwriting and the instrument you use to write. So, ye old X is actually the old X. The letter is not supposed to be a Y. Taking Tylenol when you have a hangover can severely damage your liver. Acetaminophen is actually very dangerous. Tylenol is not as safe as they would let you to believe. 6 in a day are okay, but 8 or more is dangerous. Naproxen on the other hand is much safer. I have some chronic pain and just pop like 4 leave and I'm good. You may think that's a lot, but 1 olive is something like 250 milligrams. You can go to the doc and they'll give you 500 milligrams and advise you take 2 or more. Just make sure you eat some food. On average, people have less than 2 arms. On average, people have slightly less than 1 testicle. Do you get mad that dictionaries add new words like crunk or bling? They add them because people use those words and people need to understand what they mean. That's why they are in a dictionary. And it's funny that inclusion into a dictionary somehow makes things official. I mean, who has the authority to tell other people if something's a word or not? Even if you play Scrabble, you're not challenging if something is a word or not, only if it's in your designated dictionary. The Los Angeles Angels is basically saying, the Angels when all in English. The La Brea Tar Pits is, the Tar Pits, Chai Tea is, TT. Sahara Desert is, desert. Lake Tahoe is, lake. Sharia law is, law. El Camino Way is, the way. Soviet Union is, union. Mississippi River is, big river. Hula dance is, dance. DC Comics is, Detective Comics. A location is tropical if it falls between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. In the US, only Hawaii is tropical, and only barely. South Florida is also very close to the Tropic of Cancer, but is north of it and thus not tropical. That would be why Florida is generally referred to as having a subtropical climate. When a nurse gives you an IV, they aren't leaving the metal needle inside your arm, they actually remove that and only a soft plastic tube remains, so you don't need to keep your arm dead straight. Relax. Needle pierces into the vein, then guides the catheter as the nurse slides the catheter into the vein. Metal needle is removed. Still best not to move or agitate area where IV is placed to avoid obstructing the flow through the catheter. You're going to take a nap, it's lie down. If you're going to place something on a surface, it's lay down. I'm tired, so I'm going to lie down now. I'm going to lay down this tray on the table. Basically, you lie yourself, you lay something else. Over 90% of the hands you've shaken have touched a penis. I'm more interested how many penises I've shaken have touched another penis. Your tongue rests at the roof of your mouth. This actually seems to depend on what language you speak natively. I'm pretty sure I remember that Tagalog speakers lay their tongue flat on the bottom. Mark Twain famously once said, "It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so." For instance, carrots are good for improving night vision. Fact, during World War II, the British didn't want the Germans to know they have secret radar technology. So, they spread propaganda saying that the good eyesight of their pilots was due to carrots. And everyone believed it. You're probably of average intelligence or below. Think of how stupid the average person is, and realize half of them are stupider than that. Horizontal bar. George Carlin. The little piggy didn't go to the market for shopping. I hear you, but what about the one who had roast beef? I guess it's possible that roast beef is among the scraps that were fed to these little piggies, but it sure feels like we're supposed to be anthropomorphizing here. ATM stands for Automated Teller Machine. So saying ATM machine is like saying Automated Teller Machine. Same with your PIN number. PIN stands for Personal Identification Number. I'll correct that ASAP possible. El Paso TX is closer to San Diego CA than it is to Houston TX. You want to get ketchup out of a glass Heinz bottle? Gently chop the neck where the 57 sticker is. It's designed to pour when it's agitated right there. It sounds stupid, but it works. It's like black magic. Okay. I followed your instructions. Now, how do I tell the ketchup apart from all the blood?